Hey guys, hope you have an awesome day. So I've been getting heaps of requests to do my foundation routine. So how I prime and what foundation I use and concealer I use and how I apply it. So I hope you enjoy this video. Don't be scared, I'm not wearing makeup. So usually I'll start with some kind of moisturiser, and I always use MAC's Strobe Liquid or Cream, and they look like this. And usually in the summer I'll use a liquid because it won't make me oily or anything. So what I do is I just put some on, make sure your hands are always clean when you do foundation. So I just pump about 3 pumps into my hand, not very much. And then I just put it everywhere. I really like using the Strobe Liquid before my foundation because it really makes it moisturises your face and makes it really glow. If you have dry skin, get the Strobe Cream, which looks like this. I'll put links for all the products I'm using below so you guys can check them out or purchase them or whatever. You don't have to use any of the products that I'm using. This is just what works best for me with my foundation routine. So yeah, I find that really illuminates your skin and it's really great. Okay, so next I'm going to prime the skin, and I usually change primers between the MAC Prep and Prime Skin, which looks like this, and it's really awesome. I love this primer. Or the Makeup Forever HD primer, and I get this is number 1. And this is green because, as you can tell, I'm a bit red. I get a bit of red on my face. So yeah, that will help neutralise that. So today I'll probably just use the Makeup Forever one. So I usually just have 1 pump. This stuff's really smooth, it's nice, I like it. I got this from the eye mats in Sydney, but I'll put a link online so you can find it. Okay, so the tools that I'll be using for my foundation routine are MAC brushes. The first is the 2 stippling brushes that I use for my foundation. And this is the MAC 187 and the 188. Sorry, they're dirty. That's the 188, and I use this for all the smaller areas, like around my nose, under my eyes, around my mouth. And I use this 187 for the whole face. And these are really awesome because I find stippling brushes give you more of an airbrush look, and with the flat foundation brushes that you usually see people using, the paddle brushes, I find they cake the foundation on too much, and these really spread out a thin layer of foundation, which is what you really need. So that's these 2, and I'll put links for these as well. And I use for concealer, I've actually been using the MAC 282 Special Edition, which is a duo fibre flat brush, and it's from the MAC's Glitter and Ice collection, as you can see. But you can pretty much just use any concealer brush. So this is just some eBay one I got, and as you can see, it's like a mini foundation brush. So just use something like that, or you can use your finger. Just make sure your hands are clean. So that's that one I use. And for powder, I use a MAC 129, which is a blush and powder brush. It's really nice. I find it picks up the right amount of powder, and it's really good. So the foundation I've been using for quite a long time now is MAC's Fix Fluid, and I love this foundation. It has medium coverage and you can build it, and it has a semi-matte finish, but it is easily you can easily mix it in with Lustre Drops and make it more of a satin dewy finish. And it's just great because I've got quite oily skin, and it really helps control the oil, and it lasts like all day. So I really love this. It's easy to blend, and MAC has heaps of shades, so you'll easily be able to find your shade. So what I do is I put about 2 pumps on the back of my hand. And the reason I put it on my hand and not on a palette is because my hand will really warm it up. So firstly I go in with my 187, my stippling brush, and I just put some of the product on there, just dab it in. And then I usually start in the centre of the face, because what you want to do is by the time you get back to the hairline, you want a very thin layer so it blends in really well. And I really like to buff this in so it looks really natural, because you don't need a lot of foundation, you just need the right tools to apply it with. Sorry if the lighting's not the best today. In Australia it's raining and it's a very gloomy day today, so the lighting isn't very good, sorry. When you get to the hairline, it's best to like wiggle the brush so it blends in. You don't want a line around your head. So as you can see, I've already got really good coverage and I've hardly used any. Most days with this foundation, I find I don't really need to conceal because the coverage is so good, but I usually always conceal my under eye circles because they're pretty bad. So when I've put it pretty much everywhere on the face, and make sure you really blend it into the neck because you don't want lines. Okay, so what I do next is I get my 188, which is the smaller brush, like that, and I go back in around my nose because a lot of females, we get really red around the nose, and a lot of, as you get older, you get broken capillaries as well. So I put a little bit of foundation on there and I just go back in around my nose. And any little spots, because I get quite red, so any little spots that are a bit too red. So the next step I do after applying the foundation is I hide my under eye circles. So I really love Maybelline's Fit Me Concealer, and I think it's really awesome for your under eyes because it has a lot of nice amount of moisture in it, so it doesn't crease. So what I do, and this is only like $13 or something. Okay, so what I do is this sounds really weird, but it works really well. I draw a triangle under my eyes like that. So you pretty much go under your eye and then you go parallel to your nose and then across. And it does look really weird, but it gives you the right amount of concealer, and I look like a clown. It gives you the right amount of concealer and it has a large amount of area though, so when you blend it in, it doesn't look like you've got concealer under your eyes. So what I do is I grab my concealer brush and I blend that in. And the best tool to use for under eye concealing is your finger. What you do is all you have to do is pat it and it melts it into the skin and it just looks airbrushed. So as you can see, my under eye circles are completely gone. You don't have to use a brush for this, but I like to just so I can spread it evenly and then I'll pat it into my under eye circles. So as you can see, they're completely gone, which is great because I hate under eye circles. So if I have any blemishes, I will go in with MAC's Studio Finish Concealer, which is a really great blemish concealer because it covers everything and it will last like all day and it's really creamy. So what I'll do is use my brush, or you can use your finger, make sure it's clean though. And when you're concealing blemishes, make sure you don't swipe it, because when you swipe it, you're just going to aggravate the blemish and you're not going to cover it to its full potential. So what you're going to do is put a little bit on your brush and then you just dab it onto any blemishes that you have. And then I like to go like dab it over with my finger because like with the under eye circles, it melts it in and it makes it look more natural. So yeah, that's the concealer I like to use. And now because I have quite oily skin, I like to set my foundation with a powder. So the powder I use is MAC as well. And this is their Mineralised Skin Finish Natural, which looks like this. And this is in medium plus, and as you can tell I've hit pan because I use it all the time. But usually when you get it, it's a dome shape, so it comes out of the pan. So you get a lot. I've had this for ages and it just lasts quite a long time. So I find a lot of girls with their powder, they make the mistake of putting it everywhere, like on the cheeks, like all over your face. And you don't really need to do that. All you need to do is put it, if you're oily or combination skin like I am, all you need to do is cover your T-zone, so where you get shiny throughout the day, which is like the chin, under the nose, around the nose area, and then like set your under eye concealer a bit, and then your forehead, and then you're done. Because if you put powder on your cheeks as well, you do the mistake of, you can look really cakey, and if you want to use liquid highlighters or cream blushes, by having no powder on the cheeks, it's going to make them blend in a lot more easily and look really natural. And that's the Lustre Drops I use for my highlight, and I'll just show you how I put that on after. Okay, so with the powder, I'm using the 129 brush. I just pat some of that in, put it on my chin, under my nose and around my nose. And then I use a little bit to set my under eye concealer so it lasts all day. And then just like around my forehead to my temples, because that's where I get oily and that's all I really need. You don't need to put it everywhere. Okay, so that's my foundation and concealer done. And I'm just going to show you how I quickly put on my highlighter, because to me highlighting is essential, just like foundation. So I'll just show you how I do it. So this is MAC's Lustre Drops in Pink Rebel. And what I do is I put the tiniest bit on my finger. So like that much, that's all you need. And then all you're going to do is just I just dab it along my cheekbones. And as you can already see, it really highlights the cheekbones. Highlighting is like my favourite part of makeup. I don't know why, but I love it. So as you can see, I've used the tiniest amount and it's already illuminating my face. Then I do it again for the other cheek. And then I use the leftovers for the Cupid's bow. And if I'm not wearing any eyeshadow, I'll put a bit on the tear ducts. So I'm nearly done. And the last step I love to do, which is awesome for when it's hot and clammy on summer days, is I like to use a makeup finishing spray. And I love MAC's Fix Plus. And people usually get the mistake that they think that this makes your makeup last longer. But it doesn't really do that. Basically, it helps set the foundation to a more natural finish. So if you're using powders, it's great to use this because it gets rid of that powdery look and makes your face really glow. So that's the MAC Fix Plus, and that's really great. But I found a great cheap alternative, which is Australis Makeup Finishing Spritz. So they're just as good as each other. I prefer this one a little bit more, but this is the budget-friendly option you can use. So all you have to do is spritz it over your face after you finish doing your foundation, and then you're set to go. So all I do is, and then I'm done. So I don't know if you can tell, but it's giving my face more of a natural glow. It does feel a little bit wet, but you just spritz it on and then it will set in and it will look really nice. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I hope it helped you on deciding your foundation routine. And if you have any feedback or want any videos done, just comment below and I'll be seeing you guys soon.